We concentrated more on my stage performances. We would go to the studio, watch them recording. She told me also, she was like, I looked at you crying and I started crying. I have a tendency to pick up, not steal, pick up. I take permission, guys. You'll be hearing this word a lot today. Manifested, manifestation.
There is a vision board somewhere we need to get access to.
There is a vision board in my bedroom.
Yeah. Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of किस्से with कोपल, एक ऐसा शो जहां हम सुनते हैं किस्से ख्वाबों के, जज्बातों के, ठहाकों के और बहुत सारी यादों के. Well, today's episode is extremely special because we have somebody with us who is living in her Tamanna era and we are here for it. At least I am for sure because I have watched the show and I have been a big fan. And I'm so excited to dive into a conversation with her and get to know her better. All the dreams she has manifested. I've already heard that word once now, so we have to dive right into it. Welcome, Shreya. I'm so excited to have you here.
Thank you so much. I'm a huge follower of your show, so to be here is very special for me.
Thank you. This really makes my day. Thank you so much. And the first thing, I think 2 minutes of you getting here, you were like, I've manifested this. So I think before we even open the box, let's talk about that. Do you believe in it? And what does it mean to you? Like, what is manifestation?
100%. I think whatever energy you give out into the universe is the energy that you are attracting back into your life.
Yeah.
It's basic science, right? They say energy can neither be created nor destroyed.
Yeah.
So I think I wake up every day manifesting something that I want. And if not today, tomorrow, वो कुछ सालों में मिल ही जाता है.
Yeah.
So I just think that is the goal, to just kind of be focused and chase the dream.
Yeah. No, you are giving such a positive vibe. Like it seems like, you're in that point of your life where you're just, it's just like falling in place and, things are happening and that is so exciting and congratulations on season 2.
Thank you.
We turned it on that day, like our TV, and we were like, we have to watch it. But then somebody came in like a surprise guest and we couldn't. But now I have to. It is on like the number 1 priority on my list the second I get back home. I have to watch
I'm manifesting you watching it.
This is perfect. I need to learn this art from you. Okay, cool. So should we dive right in?
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. Shreya has got some beautiful things.
Yeah.
I am just so curious to learn about every single thing, but do you want to pick the first, something from the beginning of your journey maybe?
Okay, yeah,
that
perfect.
We want to...
I think right in the beginning would be my college days.
Yes, okay.
So this is actually something that is very special to me.
Okay.
It is a letter that I received from the college that I went to, my undergraduation for coming second in college. And I went to this college called RD National College here in Bandra itself, in Bombay. And मैंने ना college में एक audition दिया हुआ था, जो कि मैंने अपने पेरेंट्स को बताया नहीं कि मैं जा रही हूँ ये देने के लिए, बिकॉज वो बहुत अचानक से मेरे लिए हुआ. Somebody saw me and was like, do you want an audition for an ad? And it was from Mukesh Chabra's casting company. And we had a mutual friend. So basically, I think she saw my photograph on either Instagram or Facebook or something. She saw we have a mutual friend. So she asked her to ask me. And I was like, ye kya ho raha hai? Because at that time, I was still in college. I had no idea about casting directors. I was not even thinking of becoming an actor. And obviously, it was always a want, but I didn't have the courage, to ever accept or think that this can happen. So I gave that audition because I was like, why not? Bulawa aaya to chalo dekhte hain kya hoga. And it was such a lovely space. I remember it was his first, earlier office. It was like a smaller space. And his associate was so kind to me because I was like, kya karna hai, kahan dekhna hai? I was just like, camera? Weirdly, I felt very comfortable in front of the camera. But the very nice thing about, Mukesh Chabra's casting company is that this was a couple of years ago. And वहाँ पे slate system नहीं है. There was no, hi, this is me, these are my profiles. It was just, come, talk to the camera, introduce yourself, what do you do? ऐसे जैसे हम लोग बातचीत कर रहे हैं. It was like that. She just asked me some questions. And then she gave me a script. She said, just learn your lines. And that though we all are comfortable with in general. So I somehow gave that audition and I landed that part. It was directed by Mr. Abhishek Kapoor and it was 2 days. And so basically I didn't tell my parents about that audition. Only once I got the ad, I was like, ye ad to release hogi, matlab wo dekhenge, matlab batana to padega.
And
So,
how did they react?
So they were very happy for me because they always knew I loved being on stage. But it was when I it was the beginning when I realized this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. That conversation was a little tricky to have with my parents because they were very hesitant about the entire, because I was very good at studies and they were like, plan to ban gaya, abhi now you have to go do your masters, ye wo sab set hai, you know. And basically, I was on the stage and I told myself, if I get like a ranking in college, I will tell my parents that, you know, this is what I really want to do because ye lijiye. Aapki beti ne mehnat ki hai, she's come whatever for second, third in college. Now let me do what I really want to do. Because my parents are very, like, I come from a family that is very academically driven. So on that very same stage that I got this award and where my parents also attended, many years later, that same stage is where we shot a very important scene of Bandish Bandit season 2. It's the first time actually Tamanna and Radhe meet in season 2.
After the breakup.
After the breakup.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh,
and
nice.
it's such a special
so
moment,
cool.
for the show itself.
Yeah.
And I was just like, one moment. This is where it all began for me. This was the stage that gave me the courage to kind of say ki mujhe ye karna hai. And I found myself back on that stage shooting, you know. So it was a pinch me moment for me. It was quite surreal.
When did this realization happen though? Like, did you know that you'll be shooting on the same stage or were you?
I knew we were shooting in college, so I was very excited. I was telling everyone, oh, I'm sorting everyone's lunch and hum log yahan jayenge, wahan jayenge. I'll show you all my spots and where we used to hang and all of that. But I didn't know we were shooting in the auditorium, that same stage and all of that. So it was quite a cool feeling. And in fact, it didn't even kick in immediately. It was mid so Ritwik is obviously with me in the scene, and Anand was there, and Anand is a huge. Anand is also a phenomenal actor. He has performed on multiple stages, like through theatre. So we were talking about Andrew stage and this stage, national stage, and different stages. And suddenly this, and I was like, 1 second, guys, this is where it all began for me. And Anand was like, do you realize how special that is? And I was like, yeah, like I feel really happy and grateful, like, you know, to be back where it all began.
That is so special. And this says, dear parent, your award Shreya Rohit Chaudhary, roll number la la la, has been awarded a scholarship due to her academic performance. Wow.
Yeah.
So this is so nice that you were like, okay, listen, mom, dad, this.
Yeah.
I've done this. Now you let me, you know, go.
I've done what you wanted me to do. Now let me try something thoda alag.
Like, okay, so let's backtrack a little bit. So you were born in Bombay.
Yes.
And so you said you come from academic background. So what do your parents do and what was childhood like? What was it like growing up in Bombay?
Very simple, typical Bombay childhood. My father is from Allahabad, Prayagraj. My mother is from Goa and Bombay. She's a Maharashtrian. My father's a Rajput. They had obviously an intercaste marriage and they have, you know, themselves been born and brought up in Bombay. So I think I've had a very liberal upbringing, but at the same time very rooted because I stay with my parents. My grandparents stay in the same building as me. So very family oriented. I have an older brother who then left for, you know, his education and stuff like that. I come from a family of doctors and lawyers, and my father is a businessman. My mother is an interior designer. My brother is a coder. He's in the IT sector with Amazon. So dur tak koi aise koi क्या बोलते हैं artistic connections. My mother, of course, is an interior designer, but nothing related to performing arts.
Right.
And my mother actually always had a dream that one of her children become a singer. So I think she has manifested Bandish Bandits for me because she really liked my mother, my grandmother. They're huge fans of singing, and you know they've been trained. And I grew up in a house full of music. Like music is a big part of my family. So it was just a very simple upbringing. I was very studious. I was all about getting good grades and all of that.
Were you into movies? Like, do you watch a lot of films? Did you consume a lot of?
Yeah,
Okay.
I did actually because of Mama again. It was like our family time was to go and watch every Friday, no matter which film. Yeah, like we used to just go. We used to buy tickets, and Mama used to call like her entire office people, my grandmothers, obviously my parents, me, myself, my brother, and if we had any friends, you know, we'd call like Mama would call her friends, dad, or my brother and I would call friends. So we'd go like a full. It was a community experience to go to the theater and watch a movie, and we used to watch everything saath mein.
And then Imtiaz Ali happened.
Yes.
How? So from like a girl who has no idea how to become an actor, you do an ad, you're like, I love being in front of the camera, this is my thing. And from there to doing a short film with Imtiaz Ali.
Yes.
How?
Even I ask myself how. You know, it's so crazy because like I'm saying, I really have a lot of gratitude for all my casting directors that I've met with till day in my life, because it was also the era wherein things are getting very streamlined. And I was very lucky to enter the era at that point, you know. So again, Imtiaz sir's short film was a project that he wanted to do. He wanted 2 newcomers. And again, it was through Mukesh sir's casting company. They conducted auditions and I landed that part. And obviously that I will never forget that day in my life. And my co-actor is actually somebody who till date is a friend of mine, and we both were so excited because we both are huge Imtiaz Ali fans, and it was like a dream come true for us. So again, something that I'd manifested. You'll be hearing this word a lot today. Manifested, manifestation.
There is a vision board somewhere we need to get access to.
There is a vision board in my bedroom. So then that happened, and that was also one of the most amazing experiences ever, because at a very early stage in my career, I got to meet, you know, my dream director of sorts, you know, and he was so humble and giving. And just the way, though it was a short film per se, he still was just there workshopping with us and, you know, taking us through the entire backstory, what he had written, the concept, etc., etc. One of the most beautiful things was that, at least on that set, he never sat on the monitor to see a take. He would be standing next to the camera person watching us perform live. Which I thought was so interesting, and like I was like, wow, like, you know, it was very cool as an actor also to be performing, to have your director right there present, you know. So that was something for me, and I feel that also added a lot to my kind of you know, it helps, you know, when you go meeting other people that, oh, what have you done till now? Fir ab batate hain ki ye hua hai. So they also are like, oh, okay, you know, you work with this person and stuff like that. So I feel a lot of gratitude for Sir, and obviously everyone for like picking me for that part. And then after that also the journey continued. Right, actually after the short film release is when I met Anand, the director of Bandish Bandits, at a production house. We were both a part of the same ad campaign. And I am a big fan of Bang Baja Barat, which is a show that he and Amrit, the makers of Bandish as well, made that as well. And I just, you know, mustered up the courage, walked up to him to say, you know, I'm a huge fan of Bang Baja Barat and congratulations and on the show and stuff. And he was also there for the fittings of an ad only, interestingly. And it's something he, like, you know, we just started speaking and he was like, you know, are you shooting for something currently? And at that moment, I had not signed anything. So I was like, no. And he was like, I'm working on something. I'll be in touch. And then cut to again, I got a casting call from Casting Bay, who were doing the casting for season 1. And then that journey started. So I really feel that the universe really just made things happen for me. Sometimes I was at the right place at the right time, or, I mean, I'd like to believe that.
But did you have like, because just like you mentioned, right, you were just like DMing people and you were, you know, saying that, hey, I'm here.
Correct.
You know, watch
is there any work?
Is there any work? Please see what I'm doing. Were there moments where you didn't get responses and it was disheartening? Like, I mean, right now, obviously, when you look back in hindsight, it all sounds great. And, you know, because things have worked out. But there, did you have a moment where you said, maybe, you know, this is not...
100%. Rejection has been such a major part of my learning curve. Because like once, you know, the thing is, once you start auditioning, now once you enter this auditioning kind of community, I'd like to call it, everyone's giving the same audition. So you basically end up meeting the same similar 10 faces for an ad audition, for a film audition, for a short film audition, for everything. And not necessarily, like, not everyone ends up becoming friends, but you know, hi, how, like, you know, and it's not like
you again.
It's not, and it's not vicious. It's quite like, you know, you'll support each other. In fact, there'll be people, I've seen this happen right in front of my eyes, and it's so beautiful because they'll be like, acha, ye bhi, you know, wahan pe ye chal raha hai. Why don't you give that audition? Cadbury chal raha hai wahan pe. For example, तूने वो दिया क्या? Like things like that. अच्छा मेरे पास dress नहीं है. अच्छा मेरा है, तू ले ले. You know, things like this, and it's lovely to see, because honestly, that's what being an artist is, a 360 thing, right? So I was seeing all of these things happen. And I was like, obviously, I was giving an audition practically every day of my life, you know, either for an ad or some project or the other. And obviously, I didn't land a lot of those. So initially, it was like, Arey, maybe I'm not cut out for this, and maybe I should go back to studies because I'm very good there. And there you can quantify growth, na? Like you get good marks, you get a good job, then job pe aapko pehle you start at this level and you get an increment, and then slowly, steadily you reach the top. But yahan pe kaise? So I'm like, maybe I'm not cut out for this. And then I realized I just need to block out all of this noise. So I was like, if it's 10 rejections, 100 rejections, I don't care. I want to keep going. No one can stop me. ये मुझे करना है और मैं करके ही रहूंगी.
You didn't have a plan B?
I don't know. Yeah, there was no plan. I don't know where that fire came from. Maybe because I see a lot of people saying you have to be crazy to want to be a part of this industry. And really, I think there was something, I don't know how to put it into words. कहाँ से वो craze आया कि मैं करूँगी. पता नहीं कैसे, पर मैं करूँगी.
There was something telling you that this is, But no, that's amazing. And when was that, like, one moment where you were like, you know, you get this one project and you're like, abhi ho gaya, you know, like, this is, life is set.
I don't think I've ever said that to myself. No? I don't think I'll ever be, because, you know, as an actor, like I said, you can never quantify anything. You can never be like, I mean, of course, you can say, okay, your project has done well, and of course, commercially at box office, if you do well, etc., etc. But you really don't know how to quantify it, because it doesn't mean if you've done one hit film, it does not mean your next film is going to be hit. Or it does not mean कि आपका जो next project है, वो इसी project की वजह से land हुआ है. Sometimes you see an actor who's gotten cast because of a film he's done or she's done 2-3 years ago. You know, so that is the beauty and the curse, like we speak about in Bandish Bandit season 2, about art, about being artists. So, but yes, it was a very career-defining moment for me. I remember when I was offered Bandish Bandit season 2. I went through obviously a host of auditions and stuff like that. But I was also offered a film at that point.
Oh.
And again, because I'm crazy, I chose the Bandish Bandits over the film. Because the dates were clashing and they were like, okay, we cannot manage the dates. In fact, everyone tried. Both the producers were very, you know, were very kind enough to say, let's try and make both happen. But वो dates match नहीं हो रहे थे क्योंकि the film was being shot abroad and Bandish required that, you know, kind of clubbed up dates in Rajasthan and all of that. And I don't know what it was in me. I just said, मुझे ये करना है. मुझे Bandish Bandits करना है, because I loved the script. It was so unique, novel. I'd never read anything like that. The character was very exciting, and I'm obviously very grateful to Anand and Amrit and Prime Video for, you know, giving two rank newcomers, you know, such a big opportunity. Or tab obviously we didn't even know where OTT is going at that point. This is, I think, 2018 or 19 or something like that. So so that's how then, you know, the process of.
I have a lot of questions about Bandish, but before that,
I will keep talking. We'll forget about this magic box.
Listen, this I saw, and I have to know what's happening here. There is Hrithik Roshan. And then that's like, how old are you in this photo?
I must have been, what, 4 or 5 years old, I think so.
Where is this? What's the story?
So, I'm blushing, of course I am. I'm a very big Hrithik Roshan fan.
Same.
Huge Hrithik Roshan fan, like all of us. And I think this is after his second film or something. And I made it very evident to my family that I love Hrithik Roshan. And I was a little girl.
Yeah.
So it was obviously some kind of admiration that I had for him. And then I think some family friend or somebody knew somebody he knew or something like that. And kind of told my parents that, let's make Shreya meet Hrithik Roshan. And, at that time, I don't even think how, I didn't even realize that what a moment it was. But now when I look back, because he's the first actor I ever met in my life. And I remember being so happy this day that, when I was younger, I should not understand the concept of movies and actors. I should think Hrithik Roshan is the character that he's in the movie. But in the movie, he had died. But how is he alive? I don't know how to explain this. As kids, we don't understand that this is not that character is not real. So I think I was introduced to the concept of films, and that's what got me so drawn is because of this day when I met Hrithik Roshan. And it's so funny, I'm such a baby here, but I remember this day like it was yesterday. And it's the first time I met an actor, and I remember him being so kind, Kopal. He was so lovely and gracious and took pictures with us. मेरे ना ये 2 दांत नहीं थे. So when I was smiling, I didn't have these, my milk teeth had fallen.
So cute.
Yeah, it was really funny. And I used to be a tomboy, so my mother, I don't know why, she's dressed me up like this total girl, because if you see my watch, that is me. But my mother was like, nahi, hairband pehnana, dress pehnana and all of that. But I was just happy to meet Hrithik Roshan. And I think that day, that somehow will always stay with me, that obviously there's no comparison only, but even today, when anyone, asks me for a photo, it always takes me back to this time. And I don't think I will ever say no to someone asking for a photo, because I remember how excited I was when I met him for the first time. But
did you ever meet him again after this? And
no, sadly I haven't, but I will.
Will you show him this picture?
I don't know if I want to. जहाँ मेरे 2 दांत नहीं है.
Well, you can barely make out.
But it was
so
a very
sweet.
he's so lovely as a person. I remember that one time I met him.
Yeah.
And till date, I'm a big fan of his.
Yeah.
So thank you, Hrithik Roshan.
All right. Okay. What should we go to next?
So this is actually something that's very special.
Okay.
From Bandish Bandit season 1.
I know that jacket.
This is something very, very dear to me.
Yeah.
It is from the opening scene of Bandish Bandit season 1. This is the jacket I wear and I kind of take off on my bike to ride from Mumbai to Jodhpur. And this was actually my first day on set as well. So this is something that's very special to me, and I have a tendency to pick up, not steal, pick up. I take permission, guys. And I requested my producer, my costume designer, Hazel, please, can I take this jacket? And they agreed. And I've had it ever since. So 2018 to now, it doesn't look that old, no?
No, it does not,
Yeah. So I really love this jacket because it just reminds me of those days. And that's very special to me. So,
Day 1 on this, were you nervous? What was that feeling like? And also, did you have a feeling that it's going to become this big?
No, never.
Yeah.
I knew we were doing something special. I knew this is something very unique and it was never done before.
Yeah.
So obviously, I had that realization. I don't know what it was on my day 1. I was, I think again, was like I said, I'm crazy. I was much more confident as a person when back then. I was just I am where I always dreamt to be and I deserve to be, and I'm here now. And now no one can stop me. There was that feeling, I guess, because also it was the first time I was shooting for something. We had a 75-day schedule. I'd never shot for something for so long, and it was an outdoor shoot. So I never left home for so long. I was a little bubble life, protected life, kind of a situation. And we were away in Rajasthan. I was working with the most phenomenal crew and the best cast possible. So I was very excited. I remember being very eager to learn and just observe. So every day, even the days I didn't have shoot, I would go and, just go and sit on set.
Yeah.
And the first day is very special. It was with a very, very special actor, Rituraj sir, who unfortunately we lost this year. And he plays my father in Bandish Bandits, and that will always stay very, very special to me, because we used to have a lot of conversations about how when we would be doing scenes, he would remember his daughter, Jahan. And that was just so that these things, this is what will always stay with you, Like obviously you finish a project and you go on to another, but these are the memories, like you were saying before.
Yeah.
Jo ek pitara hota hai na, khazana
Yeah.
of memories, that will always stay with you. So that was my day one on Bandish Bandits, and I remember they put on this blue hair on me, which eventually, like, people really accepted. Yeah, I was very nervous about it. I was like, "Kyun mujhe de rahe ho blue hair?" And I had to learn how to ride a bike and all of that and stuff like that. And it was also the character was really fun, so I was very different as a person at that point in my life. So it was a lot of learnings and very interesting. But I felt right. It felt like I am, where I'm supposed to be, where I'm meant to be.
Yeah.
So yeah.
What was the process like to become Tamanna?
For season 1 or 2?
For one. Was it different, A?
Very different.
Yeah. Okay, so let's hear that. Let's hear about 1 first. Like you mentioned the bike bit. I think you also took some keyboard lessons.
Yes.
And you also did some training with Western music, if I'm not wrong.
Yes,
You did. Okay, tell me about that. What was that process like?
So 1 was a different world than 2 for sure, because I feel 2 is a real transformation. So in fact, my next thing I'll show you when I speak about 2.
Okay.
1 ke liye it was very exciting because obviously we had Akshat Parekh, who was our singing coach, and we all call him Pandit Ji pyar se, who was teaching all the actors, and I was the only person who was a pop singer in the entire cast. So my training was a little different. We concentrated more on my stage performances. We concentrated on things like I'm also a very good composer. Like in season 1, if you realize, I make a lot of music. So just that understanding of being in a studio, being comfortable with all the buttons, like, the way the ease with which you
would
wear
put on
headphones, beat-wise, beat sense, and all of these things, these were things that I was, kind of put into in terms of training and stuff like that. Then, of course, singing and performing, those were all the songs that we had then. I had Masti Aapa, and then we had Sajan Bin, which is such a lovely song. So training for that began, and obviously there were we workshop for all the scenes, and even in season 1, actually, I have quite an interesting arc. From starting off from being this very like free-spirited, pop singer who's gotten everything quite easy. People love her, but she uses auto-tune. So she's this, I know it all, like I'll figure it out. But at her core, she's also somebody who's very empathetic. So these were things that were fun to kind of with Anand, because he really gets into the depth of things. He would really like scoop out and give me context and backstory about things, and why is she doing this, and why is she behaving like this, and her relationship with her mother is so beautiful. It develops over you. There's a misunderstanding, and she doesn't really understand why her mother's behaving the way she does, and then she eventually realizes how her mother's protecting her all this time. So things like that. And then of course eventually, when in the end of season 1 she decides to kind of leave everything and say, bus, now no more mediocrity. Which is very interesting, because at that time now, Kopal, what was happening was that it was the right before actually, there was a shift even in our country, wherein if you were mediocre as a performer, it was not easy for you to get work. Maybe it was a couple of years ago, but it was the onset of just talent, pure talent. If you saw, that's a time when all our stars of today were entering, doing amazing work on OTT, entering mainstream films, doing films that were going houseful. So it was a very interesting time, and it was also a realization for me that I have to really work hard, there is no place for complacency. There's no place for just being mediocre. You have to really because everyone is working hard. So how do you stand out? It's only by working on your craft, putting your best foot forward, and then of course the rest is
Yeah.
is left to whatever XYZ person believes in, God or destiny, jo bhi
Yeah.
hai. But so that was very interesting. And then the shift onto season 2 was really nice, was because when I read the script, I was just like, oh my God, for an actor,
Yeah.
this is such an exciting arc. Like her journey in season 2 it's layered.
Yeah.
She's so three-dimensional. She's mature because she decides to go to music school after being a pop singer and being on top of her game.
Yeah.
But just because she's mature now and empathetic, that doesn't mean she's perfect. उसको ये wise नहीं दिखाया है कि अच्छा ये अब सब जानती है, कोई मतलब महान बन गई. नहीं, she's flawed. She's going to make mistakes. She's going to learn from those mistakes. There are a lot of learnings. There's a beautiful track between her and a teacher. Again, like teachers have played a big part in my life. There is Divya ma'am's character who plays Nandini in season 2. Who teaches Tamanna a lot of things that even Shreya ended up learning, I think. So these were some of the things that I thought I'll share with all of y'all, which were our prep for Bandish Bandit season 2. In fact, every cast member, everyone who's played an instrument in the show has really played the correct notes.
Oh, really?
Everyone has trained, even if they didn't know how to play that instrument. A lot of the actors are actually musicians in season 2. A lot of them are actors and not musicians, but have learned how to play the instrument.
Wow.
So we actually, these are just some snippets from my training with my piano teacher Prathna, who is actually Akshat sir's wife, who's our music singing teacher.
Yeah.
All in the family there. And this is just like, this is Khamakha. Basically, I had my vocal teacher Dipanshi, who we would actually write down the entire song, or script ke tarah na, how a director takes you through the ups and downs of a scene.
Yeah.
You know, like this is where it's going, and then eventually conflict, this, that, blah, blah, blah. So the song also, we broke it down like this. Ki what is she actually trying to say? Because that's, even for a singer, there are like layers. It's not just one thought. They also paint a picture actually while singing. So, you know, when she's taking a high note, what is the lyric actually saying in that moment? Chorus, and just break the basic things like of a composition, chorus and melody, and you know, all of those things. And for example, that was for Holding On, which is one of my personal favorites again, which is a song by Oaf and Savera, sung beautifully by Pratika, and that's the keyboard version of it. This is for Khamakha, which is again a song very, very dear to me, which I had to also play a keyboard version in episode 1. Which I will share one of my practice sessions with you, which I don't know if I should. मुझे पता नहीं if I'm embarrassing myself or not, but I would just like to share it because it was so much fun that I got to learn all of these things. Yeah.
Just forget what I'm gonna say.
This is really amazing. I mean, did you have any sort of musical inclination like before this in the sense, the technicalities?
No, never. And we were so lucky because, you know, everyone, like Nikita Gandhi is the voice of Tamanna, right? And they would go to record the song and Anand would, you know, inform us, and we would go to the studio, watch them recording. We had any questions, na Kopal? Be it Akashdeep, who has, you know, put this entire, he's basically the music supervisor. Be it Anna, who's or Siddharth, who are the creators of, you know, some of the creators of the music that I'm singing. Raat ke 11 baje kuch doubt hai mujhe, I'd call them, they just willingly answer and be like, yeah, tell me. Okay, this is this ye aise, ye scale aise, ye yahan pe note, wahan pe ja raha hai. ये क्या word है, अच्छा ये, अच्छा इसका क्या मतलब है. So like they were so giving, and that's the beauty of musicians. For them, they respect music so much that even if it's not their face, they're like, आपका face है ना, पर music का कुछ मतलब वो कुछ 19-20 नहीं होना चाहिए. That should be a bloody 100 on 100.
But you know, there's a clip from season 2 that's been doing rounds of Instagram where it's you. It's a face-off, I think.
Yeah, Jugalbandi.
Yeah, it's a Jugalbandi. And like, this just kind of brings me to that because like, I haven't seen the season yet, but like, I know that scene.
I'm very sad, Gopal.
No, I'm telling you, it's my plan tonight. But you know, like, just that clip it was so interesting because both your expressions and you know, even the way you are, you know, lip syncing the whole thing, it's so powerful. Like, you know, you cannot, I mean, that's your job as an actor,
Yeah,
of
yeah,
course.
absolutely.
But how do you get to that level, right? Where you're not singing it, but it is, the show is entirely based on how you guys
Yeah.
enact or make the audience believe that you're the one singing it. How do you get in that zone, you know, where literally your entire body is getting in that rock star zone?
yeah.
And, you know, your expressions to your lip movement to everything is just
Yeah.
working with the way the song is flowing. Especially
yeah.
when you're not singers,
Yeah.
right?
Interestingly, we all are singing.
Yeah.
We all actually was singing
Huh.
live on stage.
Huh.
You don't want to hear those recordings. Just so you
I really
know.
want to actually.
And
Yeah.
our poor director had to hear them. But
Yeah.
he's obviously a trooper and you know took a hit for the team.
Yeah.
But honestly, just I mean, if you see season 1,
Huh.
one of the most spoken things about season 1 was how beautifully all the actors lip synced.
Yeah.
So I had the best example in front of me, be it Shiba ma'am, Atul sir, Rajesh sir, Ritvik. They're just so phenomenal. So I remember having a conversation with Ritvik as well. And then I said, like,
Yeah.
we had like this army of teachers who were just there saying, I'm here for whatever you want.
Yeah.
And Anand actually gave me this really lovely feedback, which is like a tip that Nasir sir had given him,
Huh.
wherein he told me, ki, Dekh, you cannot attain all the information and knowledge that, say, a Nikita has attained. She's from Rahman sir's School of Music,
Right.
KM. So he was like, obviously, you don't have that kind of time. But what you can do is, you know, maybe focus on the way she's breathing. Where is she taking a breath before what note? How far is she keeping the mic when she's taking a high note? Or how close is the mic when she's hitting a lower note? So things like this, he made us like go into details and observe that. And I think that really largely contributed to how all of us kind of, you
Yeah.
know, tried to perform. And little things like, you know, even in the Jugalbandi, because he said it is a competition and Tamanna Sharma is a performer. And that'll never leave you, even though you've become a student and stuff like that. What's ingrained in you now, sometimes it's difficult for you to let that go. And just things like, he was like, attack, Shreya, attack. Think tiger, attack. Like, he would just say this, that's
Yeah.
all he would say before a take. So I was like, okay, attack Shreya. And we were lucky, yaar. Matlab, I go for so many concerts and I see them on stage and I'm like, wow, what it must be to be on that stage, right? I recently went for Dua Lipa's concert and I was like, man, I remember seeing kids, you know, 10-year-olds to 40, 50-year-old
Yeah.
men, like through the spectrum, just
Yeah.
everyone just glued to her.
Yeah.
And we were able to do that through, you know, our characters. We were there. There was a live audience because they were shooting. It was like an entire stage they had created in Film City. And we were given the chance to become like pop stars, performers every single day. So though it was very hectic, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And I think it's that once in a lifetime, sometimes they say, hopefully we get to do it again.
Yeah.
But it'll always be very special. So in fact, it didn't just start from this.
Yeah.
It started, my first day of my class was like there's all these major scale, like understanding Twinkle Twinkle, Happy Birthday, Jingle Bells was my first day
my
on
God.
my keyboard class with all the chords and the keys and stuff like that.
How long, but what's the timeline for this like?
We started in, I remember, June, July, August, September 22 is when we started. And the process carried on till we were shooting, all of 2023. So
This is just
shout out to all our teachers, genuinely. And it's not just me, it's every cast member. This is one of the first few books.
Yeah.
So it's the basics. And then I
Yeah.
kept this aside and then all of these books started coming in. But I had books of like all of this.
No, but this is so beautiful, right? That you get into the depth of the character so much that you're actually learning all the, you know, the skills and the technicalities and all of those things, which is just beautiful.
No, and kudos to my production house, you know, the production house of Vanish Pandis,
Yeah.
Leo, for really supporting every actor.
Yeah.
Not ki bas ek do jan, tum log kar lo. Everyone was like given that option that, guys, you have music teachers, they're available whenever you want to rehearse, just call them. So I think that atmosphere for us as actors was very motivating, and I think somewhere deep down you can see that in the show as well, you know.
But like, tell me, like, do you have like one moment from either season 1 or 2 where after a shot you felt or somebody pointed out that, okay, this was just, goosebumps or just, tears or just, I don't know, like, was there a moment that stays with you?
I feel very lucky that, with both Divya ma'am and Shiva ma'am, they were both very, even when they didn't have to, they were both very supportive as, just as people. If they saw me being, because there were days I used to get a little, maybe overwhelmed or a little lost. And of course, Anand was there. Anand and Amrit both, they were like there throughout holding our hands.
Yeah.
But as an actor to an actor, because, they've also been at my point in their career. They've also been at my age. So they would just, sometimes say something to me to help me with the scene without telling me how to do it, just guide me, maneuver me through to, and make me feel like ye khud se aa raha hai, something like that. So it was so beautiful. And this one time I had this one scene with Shiva ma'am where I'm a little emotional in that scene, and she just looked at me and she just got emotional.
Oh, nice.
And she was like, I don't know, I'm looking at you and I can't stop crying. And I was like, I don't know, there was just something, what it was. It was a mother's instinct or what it was. But it was, sometimes that magic happens, a human connect happens when you're making something that's make-believe. That happened in that moment for me. And I had to hug her in that scene, and I genuinely dil se hugged her because I saw her crying, and she told me also, she was like, I looked at you crying and I started crying. And for me, I don't know, there was something, I adore her as an actor. And just for me to hear that from her, I don't know, it did something to me. And of course, then when Naseer sir watched the show, it was the hugest deal for all of us, season 2. And the call I had with him after that, I think, is my core memory for life. I'll never forget that.
What was that call like?
It was a lot of things. I'm not sharing everything. You guys are not that lucky. No, I'm joking. But yeah, it was a lot. Like luckily, Naseer sir is a teacher for life. He is one of the most giving human beings you'll ever meet in your life. Some of us were lucky, Ritvik, myself, and some other actors, we were lucky to do a workshop with him after season 1. So we did a couple of workshops with Sir. And, Sir's always been a teacher in multiple, institutes in India. So, just the interactions I had with him then, and then in season 2, he was like, I see a change. And for me, for him to say that, and I obviously don't want to say too many of the things he said to me, but I remember crying after my conversation with him, because I was like, this is all I maybe, was hoping to hear from Sir, because I have so much love and respect for him as an artist, as a human being. So that, I think, is very special, and he'll always be the soul of Bandish Bandits. So to hear it from him was very, very special.
Hey, listen, before we move to the next, which is our last segment also, one question I have is, so from that moment where you walked to your parents and you were like, hey, listen, I want to become an actor, to now, has there been like a full circle moment with them where they have come to you and, they've said, hey, we're proud of what you're doing?
There is actually. I don't know why I didn't say this earlier. Thank you for bringing it up again. We were shooting the very, very famous climax scene of season 1 of Bandish Bandits, which is the Jugalbandi between Atul sir and Ritvik, and of course Naseer sir is there, and Shiva ma'am, Rajesh sir, and Amit sir, again, who we missed dearly. Everyone was there, and my parents, because I remember saying 75 days ke liye hum log gaye the for a sketch. So I told my parents, can you all come for 2 days, because I was getting a little homesick. So they were like, okay, we'll come visit and we'll come, tell us when and all that. So I realized we were shooting this Jugalbandi, we'd got the schedule. So I said, forget seeing me acting. You will never get this opportunity ever again to see these stalwarts performing. So you come on these 2 days. So they were like, okay, fine. So we were shooting in Bikaner. So they came very sweetly. Both my parents came, and there used to be rumors that our hotel was haunted. I don't know whether it was or not, but I'm a huge fattu when it comes to like all these ghosts and all of that. So my mother, when she reached the hotel, she was like, how have you been sleeping here? And I'm like, every day we get so tired. I literally, before I go to sleep, I'm like, just do whatever you want. Just let me sleep, yeah, please. Like, whoever, if there's anyone here. So it was really funny. So they came and they were staying with me. And I remember we went down for the Jugalbandi. We were shooting in our hotel itself. Beautiful hotel, by the way. And my dad is somebody who is never, like, my mother has always been inclined towards movies. My father is not very filmy and rather watch news than watch a movie, for example. So he had never, he was never drawn to movies or, anything like that. So when he came on set, he really realized, what it means to make a film. And he was like, this is like any company. There's a hierarchy here. There is timings that have to be met. There is a budget that has to be set and met again. And you can't go over budget. And he realized there's so many people, like 500 people on the set trying to make, that one shot work. And in that scene, which again is a scene that, I get a lot of love from the audience from, is a scene when I walk away from Radhe's character and after I tell him I want to go to music school in season 1. And I got a little teary-eyed in that moment, and it was not planned. Anand also told me, ki tu dekh le, tu jaise feel ho raha hai, tu kar. So at that moment I was walking, and obviously I was performing, I was acting, and my dad saw me get emotional. And he said, cut, and then I went to where my dad was sitting. My dad just hugged me, and he was like, you're crying. And I'm like, yeah, Papa, I was acting. And he was like, but like, for him, it was just like how can you just cry on cue, And I think after a very long time, after that same person who was like, no, are you crazy? You can't be an actor, go study, do something. He said, I'm very proud of you to me. So I think that was a very, very, it was a very important day for me to hear that from him.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that.
No, thank you. Yeah, I've never spoken about this before, and I feel very emotional talking about it right now. But like, it's special, right? I feel like especially, there's only 1% in this world. Kopal, I've heard this from somebody very dear to me, has told me that only 1% in this world get to do what they love to do.
Yeah.
And true. I'm assuming we are one of those 1%, and we're so lucky, to be able to do that. So I can't ever take any of this lightly ever in life. So
yeah, that's beautiful. Okay, this was so wonderful. We have this one last segment, which is called Keep It Honest.
Oh, I've been very honest all throughout. So
exactly. So I don't need to ask you to be honest, but this segment comes with a twist. It's a very fun rapid fire. I'm going to give you words, and whatever stories come to your mind when you first hear that word, you have to tell me that story. Okay. And we will be doing this while we have ice cream.
Oh wow! In this dress, you want me to have ice cream?
Yes. So let's keep it honest. And Isme Sara Swaad Pyar is brought to us by Nick.
Yeah.
And we both had a bite, but
cheers.
Cheers. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to give you words. And you tell me whatever stories come to your mind, okay? Okay, I think we've discussed a lot of this, but I'm going to again ask you one more time. Tears.
Tears?
Yeah.
I started with tears and I'm eating ice cream. This is reminding me of a lot of nights in life.
Yeah, we haven't touched that side of your life at all. Let's hear one story.
The last time I actually really broke down, which I think is the toughest day of my life, is when I lost my dog Chaos, who is my first child, according to me. So I think, that was, that's the last time I really cried my eyes out. But he's always there looking after me.
when was this?
This is 2022, right before actually we started Bandish. Season 2. Yeah.
No, I can relate. I lost my dog in 2023, so
it's the toughest.
Majnu.
Oh, what a lovely name! Chaos and Majnu are also doing cheers up with both of us right now.
But okay, mountains.
Oh, पहाड़. वहाँ पे मेरा दिल है. वहाँ पे बहुत ऐसे छिपाया हुआ है, मैंने प्यार से रखा है.
किसी के पास है या पहाड़ों में?
नहीं, पहाड़ों के पास है. किसी के पास नहीं है. किसी के पास जाना भी नहीं चाहिए अभी के लिए. से वहाँ पे एक ऐसे डिब्बे में बंद करके लॉक मेरे पास है, ताला मेरे पास है. But I love the mountains, and I always say this. It's a funny thing because I also love beaches. So I always say, throw a beach person into the mountains, and you get a mountain person. So I truly feel I always thought I'm a beach person, but I'm actually a mountain person. I recently went to a very beautiful mountain in Alaska, and
I saw the photos.
it was the first time I saw snow, yaar. in my life.
First time?
And my life changed after that. Like, I was just like, I don't know what it did to me. It's phenomenal. It was the
Yeah.
first time I sat as a co-pilot on this very tiny air taxi plane.
Yeah.
And I always wanted to be a pilot at one point in my life, and I hope to get a license at some point, a commercial license. So that, I think, is something that is a core memory for me.
Wow.
I want to do, a lot of places, even in India, that I just love taking off to.
Yeah.
I love going to the hills over here also. Uttarakhand, ya phir Himachal. I love, there's this little place called Landor that's above Mussoorie.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so beautiful. And, it's this tiny little city with like probably like a few thousand population.
Yeah,
Such
yeah.
simple lives, and that's the beauty. And the people, who live in the mountains, simple, sweet, and the food is lovely. And it really just makes you realize ki, what are the simpler things are where happiness lies in
Do
life.
you have like a travel story that you always keep coming back to?
Lots, yeah. Every travel of mine has been phenomenal. I've traveled with a lot of people in life, but my most favorite travel partner, I've realized, is my mother. My mother is really like somebody who, she's a child of the world. She's a child of nature. So I feel, my dad and I are a little inhibited. We're a little more like, we go by logic. We're very like, everything is straight lines and everything needs to make sense. And my mother just believes in going with the flow and like that free spirit, now what you call, I get very attracted to that. And my mother is that person. So we recently traveled together for a wedding to Mexico, and I had a blast with her. Like, just randomly, like, she'll just go anywhere. Like, she'll go into some market, she won't care, think this, that, blah, blah, blah. And I feel when somebody is liberated like that as a person, it's very attractive because all of us are mostly just chained down by something or the other. So when I spend time with my mother, I love seeing her, just be herself and be free and stuff like that.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna give you one last thing. It's not a word, but I want to hear this. What's like your favorite dialogue from Bandish? Favorite line, favorite dialogue, and if you remember the lines, can we have you say it?
There's a line in season 1 which a lot of kids come and tell me. It's तुम awesome हो, मैं awesome हूँ, और मेरे अगले गाने के लिए तुम मेरे साथ गाओगे. I don't know why I really caught on. So a lot of kids would come up to me and say that to me, like, Didi, tum awesome ho, main awesome ho. And I'm like, this is just too cute. So yeah.
No, that's amazing. Yeah, this has been so
this has
beautiful.
been so lovely, and you've given me ice cream. Also, it's my most favorite interview now ever.
Yay! But it's been an absolute blast talking to you and getting to know all the hard work that goes behind, doing all the magic that we end up seeing on the screen. And getting to know you better. I'm sure there's so much more that we can, still talk about, and I hope there's a part 2 to this, few years down the line where we kind of reconnect, and I hope we keep manifesting. And what are you manifesting next? Let's end on that. can
I am just manifesting being back over here. Talking to you with newer memories. Hearing you sing maybe next time as well. Eating some more ice cream, because today really for me, I should be saying thank you to you, because you really took me back in time and made me relive different moments of my life, and it just kind of was a reminder that you're fine, Shreya, you're good, keep going.
Yes.
So
you're great.
No, thank you. So this was so much fun, genuinely. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shreya. Thank you. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. अभी तक नहीं देखा है season 2. क्या कर रहे हो तुम लोग?
Yes, Gopal. क्या कर रहे हो आप?
मैंने देख लिया होगा. जब तक आप लोग ये देखोगे, मैं season 2 देख चुकी होंगी. So you can't say anything. But thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Genuinely, thank you.
Awesome. Cool.